Hey, what's up, people? That Guy Ralf, third favorite YouTuber. New video time, B. Alright, so this one's just a small discussion video. Something that has been talked about for about a month already. I've said my piece about it a couple times in one of the nerd news. Can't remember which one exactly it is. I'm probably gonna pop up something. So you guys can know which one it is. And I've mentioned it in like comments in Facebook if you guys talk to me on Facebook. But this one is just going to be addressing the whole GameStop selling comics. I know it's not like a real big issue, but it's something I just want to give my small opinion on. I guess you could say small rant. That's what I've been doing, a lot of rants. So this one's mine for this one. Before I go any further, please be sure like, comment, and share that Guy Ralf, third favorite YouTuber. But it doesn't say that. That's something that is between us. You know, me, the guy on the YouTube channel that you're watching, or video that you're watching right now, and you guys who are watching it. It's a law. Anyways, going forward. So, about a month ago, beginning of June, I believe, there's a lot of articles going out about GameStop starting to sell comics. Right? And it makes sense if you think about when you go into GameStop. You go into GameStop and they advertise a lot of TV, movie, comics, stuff. You know, like the pop figures, action figures, t-shirts, statues, etc., etc. And it was the most logical thing for them to start selling comics. And reading into it, I know they're going to have like a small spin rack, and I think they're using Diamond as their distributor. And it's going to be like selective GameStops. My opinion on this, I actually think it's a bad idea. The only way I would be remotely optimistic about it is if they focused on trade paperbacks. For example, Barnes & Noble. Everybody knows Barnes & Noble is a bookstore. But Barnes & Noble sells graphic novels, which is comics. But that's an example. They only focus on the trade paperbacks, you know, or hardbacks, you know, the collections of multiple single backs in one book, if you guys are not familiar with the terminology. So when you think of that aspect, a lot of comic book stores sell them, but they're more focusing on single backs, you know, for collectors to, you know, get like the variant covers, a whole bunch of series and collections of single backs. But when GameStop starts stepping in, a lot of issues start getting arise. My English is well bad. I apologize, people. But you start speculating, like, will they eventually become bigger with selling comics and eventually start pushing away small-time comic shops? You know, like comic shops who are probably struggling already. Because, you know, and nothing's 100%. And digital downloads alone is already kind of hurting as much as some people might be buying. I don't have the exact numbers. I don't run a comic book store. I'm just going off of what I've seen by just talking to some people online. I've met a lot of cool people on Facebook, and some of them have insights on that. Some of them might work at a comic book store, or have somebody close to them who work at a comic book store. But you have digital downloads. Now you mean to tell me a chain like GameStop, who does pretty well money-wise, obviously, is going to start selling comics that can eventually lead into what you're selling, especially Marvel and DC. Everybody knows Marvel and DC comic sales phenomenal, just like everything else. But they can eventually harm what people have going with their comic shops. You know? And who's to say that right now GameStop, oh no, we're just selling a rack. Who knows? They might branch out, make their own corporate stores that's going to focus on comic books. And then eventually we'll start leading into a lot of smaller comic shops, closing shop, which a lot of us don't want to see, you know? That's why I'm always big on please support your comic shops. Not just for like, well, it's always better to have in your hand than on digital, like boobies, but it's more of the aspect of keeping up with the culture, you know? It's more than just buying hats and, you know, doing Facebook groups. It's also keeping up with buying it and going to the movies, buying tickets. I'm not in nobody's financial situation. I'm probably not in the best financial situation myself. I know I'm not. I'm broke as fuck. But You gotta look at it as, if you want something to continue, you need to support it. I'm a big believer in that. Also, the bright side of GameStop doing this, I have a friend, my boy K. He lives in Louisiana. He said that comic shops are actually very far from where he lives. So if GameStop was to start selling extra comics, that might be beneficial for somebody like him who don't have a comic shop in his area, and in cases like that, it makes sense. And if GameStop starts doing maybe some small selling of a spin rack in their stores, maybe people like my friend in Louisiana will benefit from it, because not everybody has local comic shops. I have 3 that's the closest to me. Shout out to Wade's. They're like 20 minutes away. They're like the second closest to me. The first closest, believe it or not, is actually walking 15 minutes down the street from where I live. But that place sucks. The customer service is horrible. The guy there's a dick. Comic Relief. I know words mean heavy and I shouldn't talk down on people, but he's an asshole. I don't care what the fuck you say. And if he sees this, you kiss my ass. Anyways. And then the other one is, no, it's not Comic Relief. I got the name wrong. I'm sorry. I'm not going to edit that part out because it's the realness. Comic Relief is the other one I go to when I can't find what I need at Wade's. Comic Relief is really good. I'm sorry, Comic Relief. Please scratch that out. Comic Lair is the one down the street. They suck balls. Kiss my ass. Not Comic Relief. I'm fixing that. But I don't go there enough to remember what name is what. That's how I forget it. If it's not Wade's, I really don't mess with them too much. But yeah, I'm lucky enough to have these comic shops around me, but other people are not. So GameStop could help a lot of people in aspects like that. And sometimes ordering them online, you will pay more money, typically, because you have to pay shipping and handling. When in reality, if you just go to the store, you'll be saving like $6 by itself, $6-7. Example, the No Justice, right? Issue 4. I was looking out to get it, and I actually ordered it from Midtown Comics, which is in New York. My boy Miguel, homie, told me, about it. I went there when I went to New York a year ago with my girlfriend, and the comic shop was cool. It was big, had 2 floors, but they have different stores. Anyways, he said oh, you can get ordered. So I checked it out. I paid $19 in total for that, and I bought my girlfriend a Catwoman pop. Yeah, we do our little collection. And then I tried to do it on Amazon, because we have an Amazon Prime account. So I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Use it. The comic itself, is like $4 for the single back. But I was going to have to pay like $12. In reality, I paid about $7 more and got a pop out of it. So to me, that made more sense. Because I was going to pay $12 by itself just for the comic. In reality, I paid $7 more with a pop figure. So economically, that's how I see things. So who knows? I mean, I'm honestly kind of against GameStop doing this. This is my rant about the whole thing. I've taken in a couple different comments, and I've looked into it in different aspects before I even made a video, because I like to see different opinions. Like, for example, my boy in Louisiana. Somebody like that, he benefits from it. But then when you think about it as far as like local comic shops, like the Comic Lair, who's an asshole. Comic Lair, not Comic Relief. Yeah, something like that. Anyways, with that being said, that guy Ralph, 3rd favorite YouTuber. Tell me what you think about this. What is your thoughts on GameStop selling comics? Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it's a bad idea? Let me know. Tell me what you think below. Oh yeah, and then Walmart. Walmart has those little small like single backs. Something like that they could do too. Like just to push out some stuff, but to actually do the same concept of every Wednesday, new comics drop and whatever. Against it. Anyways, that guy Ralph, 3rd favorite YouTuber. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. You already know. Rub your nipples. Good night, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever you're watching this. Enjoy the rest of your day. Again, rub your nipples, stay sexy, and remember to laugh, because everybody knows life is too short. All right?